All right, y'all. So y'all asked for part two. I got y'all. It's Saturday. I did the release on the day of, which was Wednesday, right after my court date. It took me so long because they were spiritually attacking me, y'all. Believe me when I say like they sent all types of incubuses, succubuses, and incubuses at me, and those are basically like sexual male or female, like deities or demons, and they basically attacked me. So I had to get myself together before I come back on here and show you guys how I'm looking and feeling and tell the story of part two. So when I went to my court date on Wednesday, I already knew something told me not to go. Like it told me that like I'm supposed to witness what I was witness, but it was just telling me to keep my protection up. And in order to keep your protection up, you have to be aware. So I had to keep this protection shield around me and basically keep myself, you know, aware of everything that's going on. So that's why when I first was telling part one, I was saying like the first weird thing that was happening was the elevators going up and down. And usually I went to court a lot, so that doesn't usually happen to me. And it went to a lower subject that was like a basement, but it was the sheriff's offices. It looked like that building went underground. It looks like the courts, the courts, elevator literally goes down like into the ground, bro. Like trust me, that shit is creepy. And that's why there's all that construction that's going on. That's a download I'm just getting as I'm talking, and it's just like they're telling me to say that, bro. Like there's definitely tunnels underground in Phoenix Municipal Court when you go to court. And I could tell by the way we was going up and down the levels. That's why I was aware at that time. I had my protection shield over me. So I had to get myself together because I couldn't even get it out. I was not spooked, but I was definitely in awe and thrown off because this is the second time this happened to me. Second or third time this happened to me. So it's like now I know what I saw. I know for sure what I saw. The court was full of shapeshifters, and by shapeshifters I mean they were bending light. I'm gonna put it somewhere here or here somewhere, but you're basically gonna see that light photons is radiation. It's like electrical magnetic force. It's energy. So it's like you can like say like the sun's coming down and it's giving this energy to a seed and it starts growing, and that's energy. So it's just being transmuted. But it gets more intricate than that. But I'll have all of it up there for y'all. I'll probably voice over, just give y'all a second to read it yourselves. But I definitely witnessed them using and bending light. And I understand the concept. I just don't know the terminology all the way of how the scientists say it, but I understand the terminology. It's built in my soul already. So I'm understanding how they're bending it because I'm seeing extra fingers. He had 5 hands, and then he had a six finger right here. And I would see it disappear and then come back, disappear and then come back. So I'm like, and I know I wasn't tricking my mind. I know what I seen because it was multiple shapeshifters in there. I wouldn't call them reptilians, but I will say that I smelled the blood on them. They could have been any species. You know, they're not just reptilians. We don't want to just put everything onto them. It could be anything. But I know for sure they were shapeshifting and they were using light. What really threw me off for a loop was because I really see them looking at me. They would only stare at me. Like it's like they were recording me. Like it's like they were recording me and then they would look at me and then look away, or like we would have a staring contest. It's like they knew who I was. I literally say that with everything inside of me, bro. Like they know who I was. They know who I am. And when I started saying things like that, it started making them upset. If you're in the stand light, you ain't even got to be savvy with the terminology. Like I said, I'm not or light bending. You just got to know and understand this concept and put a grip and put it into your own perspective of how you perceive it. Just make sure that you really understand it. Other than the energy that I felt and the light bending that I seen, the average eye wouldn't have seen what I seen. They would have just thought it was regular court on a regular day. But she put me into a prism. When I say a prism, that is a box, right? Think of a cube. But you remember those cubes you used to draw? Let me draw one for you. We used to draw cubes back in fucking school, right? I'm gonna show you those little fucking 3D cubes. We used to draw those. All right. Imagine a fucking courtroom. I don't know if y'all can see that. It was like that. Imagine a courtroom. I walk in the courtroom. There's the big ass doors that they open, they close them back. All right. So imagine I'm talking to her. I feel her fucking energy. Her energy is so disgusting. I smell the blood on her. By the blood, I smell this rustic smell. I see her energy. She has this black energy around her. If you are in tune with yourself, your own energy, other people's energy, you would understand that this black or brown energy is very, you can see it, you can smell it, you can feel it, right? So she was giving all this energy towards me, and she was also like making it seem they were going extra hard on me, like, you know, I was the only one interrupting court. They were basically singling me out. So she trapped me into this prison, and she thought that I wasn't, like, I was gonna be scared, but I wasn't scared because, like I said, and I have another thing to tell you after that. It deals with the word akata. It's a very powerful word. But anyway, and it has to do with Akasha. If y'all ever watch Queen of the Damned, they mention Akasha, and she's a vampire who, y'all gotta go watch the Queen of the Damned. She's a vampire, and like basically she's an Egyptian goddess at first, and she like basically walked around eating blood, but that's not the real story. But Akasha, okay, it's very close to Akata in the African language, and I have to get this out before I get my story out. They use Akata to explain black, like us, the people in United States. I looked it up on my own, and a lot of Africans who live in Africa, they deem us as Akata, or like raised with no respect type of thing. But I'm getting insight from my deepest intuition and my higher self and my ancestors. They're telling me Akata has something really, really, really significant to it. I said that in the court. I said Akata. Ande kata. I said ande, some word. I was like speaking in tongue, and I was saying it so fast. Ande kata, like it was a lot of stuff. And I say this thing to myself when I get out of loop. I say something akata, and when I can only say it when I'm furious, or I can only say it when I know I need protection. All right, so I said akata. Whatever I did, the lights flickered. My shadow self popped out, and she started laughing all wickedly. She started getting crazy and fucking malevolent, and she's like, yes, they done fucked up. They fucked with the wrong person. So I'm going back. So she trapped me into this prison. And what she basically did is I felt her energy as we was like everybody was around me. I literally seen like it started to fade into black. So now everything around me is black. All I can see is the prism of the courtroom. All I can see is the outline of the room, but it looked luminous, translucent. It looked like a white, almost laser. And I zoomed in. She had me the room kept getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, to the point where I was staring at her, and her face was starting to fucking morph into who she actually was. Her eyes was getting closer to here. Her mouth was getting very like snapper like and just disgusting, and her nose was too. She was a black woman. She had her hair about here. By the time she was morphing into who she really was, and I seen her true form, her hair was all shriveled up and it was like bald, and it was disgusting. She looked disgusting, bro, like on everything I love. I seen them. Their eyes, if you like stare at them long enough, their eyes will black out and you'll see no whiteness. You'll see all black. Very fucking demonic. I was creeped out, but I've dealt with this before when I was working at Taco Bell. A shapeshifter walked up to me just to test if I was gonna notice them, and I noticed him, and he drove away in a red car. That's a significant color. If they're driving away in red cars or like things like that, and you just gotta pay attention to colors. You have to pay attention to a lot of things. It's a lot of shit to you. You just have to pay attention and be aware. So I'm noticing that all of them are shapeshifters. My attorney is a shapeshifter. It looks like he just became a shapeshifter because at first I didn't notice, or I'm just barely becoming aware. I seen this man's eyes. He definitely, like, I smelt the blood on them. As I'm walking up to them, they're talking to me. Their breath smells like blood. Like, this was not a joke. Okay, so the first thing that threw me off for a loop was when they were seeming like I couldn't get. They scheduled me another court date, first of all, and they was making it seem like I just couldn't, like I wasn't doing my job. Let me come back with part 2, y'all. It's about to end.